Nibonkosi lehle sinivusena lomhla ekseni sinamukele ehlelweni Kusile breakfast show lomhla ke tinsuku tine inyanga ke lena yemphala kanti ke sinasibala nje tinsuku kulenyanga tike mashumi lamabili nakune kodwa ke lusuku lesine kuleli viki sivusela njena lomuhla sithokote kakhulu ekseni nivuke nathi nisijoyine lapha eluhlelweni impilo lami ngosifiso ushumi nakubili ncimalo ngamba nentombi yemathombeni kujwa kodwa ke namhlanje wa
ngoni ngiphilile kunjani nomhla ekseni
doing wonderful kwashumlungu lapha
Nosiphilile sibanga nje umdala ukuthi usiphephisile wasigcina sathe sabona langa lalamuhla. Always grateful for the Almighty God ukuthi sivukele kubalekile ukuthi masivuka nje sithandaza sibanga umdala ukuthi siphephile savuka sabona langa lalamuhla sinivusela babukele. Thank you for tuning in lomhla ekseni sesema ukuthi niphilile namhla kone ngesiniphathele kwana the program sitabe sikhulumisana nabaka MTN Eswatini the breaking communication barriers for everyone particularly for the deaf society ngapane ke MTN seyiniketa lusito lwe WhatsApp kumakhasimende ayo la kubateke ngekungeva etindlebeni ukuthi labo labafuna lusito baluthole ngekushayela inombolo yothide nga WhatsApp video call baxoxisana ke nesebenzisa ka MTN bese bayasitakala lena ke indlela yokuvala sikhala lesibonakele ukuthi lesibonakele futhi labahlale bakhala ngaso bamhla labakhubateke ngekungeva etindlebeni ukuthi abakhona ukuthola lusito etindzaweni letiningi letfaya ekhatsi etibhedlela emaphoyiseni nanetinye tindzawo ngokuthi kude bantfu labaningi labati lulwimi lwetandla lapha eveni nomonde simbande waka MTN lasichazela abantu ngalo lolu hlelo kanti sesiphinde sikhulumisane nebelitiko letempilo kulandzela ukuthi lamuhla umhlaba wonke ukubhala ilanga le World Polio Day sitawuva ke ukuthi metamoyini lendiwa live leSwatini kunqoba sifo sepolio nokuthi kumcwanga nani ukuthi live leSwatini lesiqiniseko sokuthi banphana bayasigomela lesifo xosiwe Dlamini walelitiko lasichazela abantu ngalo lolu suku.
Yeah, kanti ke ngakulokunye we are going to be joined by Gugulethu Bennett. She's the Marketing and Communications Manager, along with Sizwe Temba, Sales and Product Specialist, Baqhamuka lapha Eswatini National Petroleum Company. We want to unpack iPhephile Gas, an exciting product from the ENPC by Bitagenge liquefied petroleum gas, a solution that is designed to provide safer, cleaner energy to domestic as well as rural households across the country. We want to explore how this initiative aligns with ENPC's drive towards low-carbon, sustainable fuel alternatives, as well as the innovative features that make Phephile Gas stand out. So do stay tuned for a deep dive into how this product could be transforming energy access in Eswatini.
Kunjalo mbukeli lesikhathi asibuena dile thamba imbili kumaphepha. Leading headlines on the Eswatini Observer, lomhla kungolesibili, hailstorms devastating effects at Sikombeni and Simunya. This is a house that had its roof blown away and another had its windows shattered at Sikombeni. A vehicle was also extensively damaged by an uprooted tree while parked at a filling station at Simunya. In other news, Gonjingila Chieftaincy Ro Gelane regrets chief's appointment. She now wants to alert King of Chief Bozongo's sudden change, while Chief says he can't stop his aunt from reporting him to the authorities. And in other news, Natcom reveals over 2.4 million Amalangeni stolen by Facata scammers, and a man has been fined 20,000 Amalangeni for touching his sister.
Shifting our focus now at Inzabeni Temidlalo, Solo Square, Eswatini Observer. Big story leak thrown into disarray as the PLE calls big Indaba. I think our journalists here in Eswatini TV have been, recommending that this is needed as urgent as possible, this big Indaba. Well, Governor, to discuss way forward on wondrous issue, PLE says 15-team league is impossible this season, and another possible option could be to start league afresh. Well, that's a big one there. On another story, Stvashini robbed 44,000 Emalangeni prize money. Lenyenza by Kulumage is in quotations. I had no choice but to kick out Gwake from camp. On another story, goalkeeper Ini Sonyawo has been fined 5,000 Emalangeni for soccer boots theft. In Zabaya Ali, we are not anti-Ali. The Mbabane Highlanders National Supporters Committee says they are not against the club boss, Chief Ali Homongo.
All right, moving on to the Eswatini Daily News. Your leading headlines: new eye clinic to enhance service delivery. This is a huge step in the right direction as the Ministry of Health has made the Nkwe mandate a priority. These were the words of Minister of Health Mduduzi Matebula during the opening of the new eye clinic in Manzini on Wednesday at the RFM Hospital. And in other news, Minister Prince Lonkokela says government is not competing with a private sector. And Alpheus government spokesperson Alpheus Nxumalo says His Majesty the King has the heart for his people.
Yeah. Sichubekela embili sibuka indzaba temidlalo Eswatini Daily News. The big story: Ali takes sprinter players to South Africa. Bobani Highlanders MD chief says those fighting to lead can go ahead and train their team ahead of Young Buffalo's tie on Wednesday. Another story: Kwake should have showed maturity, and that is according to Logarasic, who is the Sihlangu Semnikati head coach. Nzabaigcina, Rivero is delighted with Bucks' 100% record.
All right. Ngilitole thamba imbili ngo 6 minutes after 6. Daba hlwete makethe sibe masinyane netindzaba teSwati.
I'm a very, 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 very happy customer.
I know.
Imali ebhizinisi ayidlika wayidla udabula phansi.
Hayi ngimsebenzi yethu lesindako la ekhaya njengoba niyibona limihle kangaka.
Ngiyakolosha, which is crocheting.
Ngiyakhicita ke noko kakhulu emsebenzini wethu ikhumba.
Ngenda kwegaba emaqiqi nokwegaba entsanyeni.
Ngilungisa emagedlela.
Hello, how are you? We are selling peanuts at 5. Thank you so much. Umdala kubusi. Find the strat, babe.
Nibengikwazi kamahlokohla siphindze sindvusele sinamukele sonibukelayo na ikusile breakfast show kulesikhathi sitawujabulela nathi indzaba tesiswati. Silo semhlaba sesi-7 leSamoa lapho khona ingwenyama yawungenela umhlangano webaholi bemave ladlelana nemangisi Commonwealth. Kanti-ke kufikeni kwayo kulela live imbube yemhlaba beyisingethwe liphovela lazuma.
Luhambo longwenyama seluqhubekele eveni leSamoa ekwansilo semhlaba sisuke eveni le-Republic of Serbia. Imbube ifike kuleli live isingethwe liphovela lazuma kanti ikuleli kutawungenela umhlangano wemave ladlelana nemangisi i-Commonwealth. Afikeni kwaso silo semhlaba esikhumulweni setindiza semukelwe ngilonxusele Eswatini eNgilandi nakulamanye emave alabamhlophe Her Excellency Thandazile Mboyisa labakhulu embusweni waseSamoa kanye nasenhlanganweni yaka-Commonwealth.
Wena kwamqala ngombani wazulu wazovuma izulu lapho sambana kodwa ngakwasathele ase bakuthumisa bathi ukuthakapha lokubhodela mjena wona kwenkola tani kangona kababe kamahlokoda utiyakuthatha ngabenda phakwadlile elapha kubosomtolo siwusangele ngona nzasula kisilangone lapha ngisikale bambona sikazabhodo ngabe siyabonakala ukuthi inkoyene enzasula.
Ingwenyama ivele yakhanja umbutho wetekuvikela kuleli live sewuvele umengemuma usemukela silo semhlaba. Lomhlangano lubanjelwe enhlokodolobha i-Ephelbe ukuthi uhlanganise emavela ngamalunga enhlangano ka-Commonwealth nabete enhlangothini letehlukene temhlaba. Ingwenyama ekanye nalabanye baholi bemave babheke ukuthi bathingithe tindzaba letiphathelene netentutfuko kanye nekubambisana kwemavela ngamalunga elenhlangano. Lokunye lokubheke kulo mhlangano ukhethwa kwamabhalane jikelele lomusha walenhlangano njengoba sikhathi sekusebenta sa Her Excellency Patricia Scotland sesiya ngasemaphethelweni. Etindzabeni kubika Polio Maziya, Anathemba Mamba eSamoa.
Litiko letemcebo waphansi nemandla likhatsatekile ngekunganakekeleki kahle kwemanti langephansi kwemhlaba kanye nekubabeteke kwemitsetfo leyengamele kusetjentiswa kwalawo manti. Lokhu kuvakele ngendvuna yetemcebo waphansi nemandla umhlonishwa uMbanenkosi Lonkokhela uma akhuluma emhlanganweni wemalanga lamabili lapho kubukwa khona tindlela tekonga nekuvikela emanti yaphansi. Nomhlangano obanjelwe ehhotela le-Mountain View eMbabane.
Livela kangwane libambe umhlangano wemalanga lamabili lapho kubukwa khona tindlela tekusebenziseka kahle nekongiwa kwemanti aphansi pheceleti i-groundwater. Lo mhlangano ubanjelwe ehhotela le-Mountain View eMbabane. Ikhuluma nayivula lo mhlangano ngawusemthethweni indvuna yetemcebo waphansi nemandla uMbanenkosi Lonkokhela ichazile ukuthi uhulumende utimisele ukuthi lonke liswati liwathole emanti lahlobile ngako kumcoka ukuthi emanti aphansi anakekeleke.
The ministry is concerned, however, by the laxity in groundwater governance and awareness. Amid positive impact this resource has on the masses of our people, businesses, and the environment. Even though this resource is underground, when it does bubble up or flow into streams, groundwater helps to replenish and maintain levels of surface water. The bodies of water that we are used to seeing, such as rivers, lakes, streams, etc. Groundwater helps to keep our lives, our rivers flowing through stirring up of transboundary management aspects.
Ngekusho kwelibandla laka-SADC lelibuke emanti i-SADC Groundwater Management Institute, 70% webantfu balesifundza bancike kakhulu emantini aphansi.
We have also learned in our region, most of the water resources, about 83% of our water resources in the country goes to agriculture. And agriculture contributes about 9% of the GDP of our region. And within that 83%, groundwater contributes about 12% of the water resources that go toward the support of agriculture. What does this mean? It means that there is huge potential for us as a region to utilize groundwater to support agriculture.
Lo mhlangano ubheke ukuthi uphume netindlela tekubuketwa kwayo yonke imitsetfo leluse emanti kanye nekuthi kugucuka kwesimo selitulu kwatsikabeta kanjani emanti aphansi. Etindzabeni kubika Thabiso Maphanga Anasimuva Shongwe eMountain View eMbabane.
Sibhedlela se-RFM kaManzini sesivule ligumbi lekucwaninga emehlo lapho sivele sigula ngemehlo sitawutfola lusito lolusezingeni nalelisetulu. Leli gumbi livulwe indvuna yetemphilo umhlonishwa Mduduzi Mathebula ngalesithathu.
Leli gumbi lemehlo litawusita kulapha labanetinkinga temehlo linemishini lesezingeni lelisetulu netibuko letehlukahlukene kusita labanenkinga yemehlo ngemanani laphansi. Lolu hlangothi lusekelwe bakaPhepha nebe-eye clinic. Induna yetemphilo umhlonishwa Mduduzi Mathebula ithi hulumende utimisele ekucinisa budlelwane netinini tenkosi kude kulwetfula usito lwetemphilo lolusezingeni.
Kuyajabulisa ke kubona lo sito olusonzela thutane kuto improve ama-services la betholakala la eNazarini. INazarini ke siyayadi ekubeni lihlahlandlela etintweni letiningi. Nanyalo kuyabonakala ukuthi iNazarini imbambile nkwe weNgwenyama. Yethemba ukuthi lolu sito lufike kahle ngoba sive sitawuchamuka kuto tonke tingalo kutokhona kusitakala. Sengingathatha leli thuba ukuthi nisicele sive ukuthi asisonzele ethutane eNazarini sitowukhona ukuthi lithole usito lwemehlo lolufaka ekhathi nokuthola letibuko.
Umphathi we-RFM Mazwi Mavuso uthi bafuna ukunciphisa emaphutha kusalashwa tigulane.
Lokhu kumcoka kakhulu kithi ukuthi lusito lufike esiveni. Bese ke sinda indlela ukuthi later nase lo mvuno anayo imali kubhadale kanjani. Leyo principle leyo ita apply nala kula mehlo lokuhamba embili kithi ukuthi abantu abathole lusito loyo labalitsingako. Kukhona indlela dekwenda ukuthi esikhatsini lesitako sayangabona ukuthi lo mvulo ubhadala njani.
Lo Ms Extend okhulumelela abasekeleli esibhedlela unike isiqiniseko ukuthi batawusebenzisana nelitiko njalo wathi kubona emehlweni kusita ukuthi kusebenteke kahle emisebentini noma kuhanjwa emigwaqweni. Lobika wethu Indzabeni Eswatini TV ngumpendulo kumbi kanti umbiko uhlanganiswe eNkiyani Msibi, Bongani Masuku, Princess Mahlalela naseThabile Mamba kaManzini.
Indvuna yetempilo umhlonishwa Mduduzi Mathebula ngakulokunye ithi balitiko bayati ngendzaba yokuthi munye dokotela wengqondo pheceleti i-psychiatrist eveni losebenta esibhedlela sekweluleka nekulapha ingqondo. Uthi ke balitiko basehlelweni lokulungisa lokho kanye naletinye ke tinsaya letikhungetsele esibhedlela.
Litiko letempilo lithi liyayisebenta indzaba yokushoda kwabodokotela bengqondo eveni. Inhlangano yebantfu labanesimo se-autism ike yakhala ngekuthi munye dokotela wengqondo lokwenta kube likhuni kusitakala kwebantfu labanalesimo. Indvuna yalelitiko umhlonishwa Mduduzi Mathebula ithi bayayati indzaba yalokushoda kwabodokotela.
Litiko liningi lelikwendako neku-improve simo semithi ukuthi yonke imithi yasesayikhi ihlale ikhona. Ngetulu kwaloko kunciphisa emalayini decentralize le service to regional hospitals. Lokusho ukuthi le cycle siyadiyo lela kaManzini kufune ibe i-national referral hospital referral letibhedlela letifundzeni. So siyakusebenta ke lokho ukuthi atoncipha lamalayini la utela ngoba ureferwe esibhedlela mbesakahlazi noma sasesipiki noma sasesiteki. Sitawuhambisa vele lama-services siwakhokhela so that kutokhona ukuthi kusebenteke kangcono. Kungaba ke-encourage nje nato tonke bafundzi labafundza tindzaba tetempilo. Ema-studies lesiwendile ayakhomba ukuthi tisebenta tetempilo vele tincane, not just like esayikhi kuphela. Litiko lonke lidonsa amatima ama-facilities adonsa amatima. Sesiqalile ke kuvala letikhala kusebenzisana na-public service. Sive sitawubona umehluko etibhedlela i-service delivery i-improve ngoba tisebenti setitawukhona ukuthi tibe tiningana nalokhu letiniko. Noma kungeke kulunge ngasikhathi sinye ngoba nale budget iba incane, so sinciphisa kancane each financial year sinciphise. Otherwise inombolo tikhomba ukuthi letisebenti letikhona tetempilo ti less than half walele kufanele ngathi nginto. Kaphana ke i-public service nahulumende wonke uyasibambisa kwenta lesimo sibe ngcono.
Imvuna ithi kulamaviki lambalwa letako litiko litawube livula emawadi lamasha kulesibhedlela. Indvuna ithi nemaphilisi batawucinisekisa ukuthi ayatfolakala. Etindzabeni kubika seThabile Mamba, Bongani Masuku kaManzini.
Lisekela lemcondzisi wetempilo Dr. Bongiwe Malinga lithi tigulane atikubike kungaphatheki kahle nekungaphephi etibhedlela kodwa litiko lento lokufanele. Dr. Malinga bekhuluma kaManzini uma kugujwa ke lusuku lwekuphepha kwetigulane i-World Patient Safety Day.
Sicubulo salonyaka nje sithi pheceleti improving patient diagnosis for patient safety. So sifuna ukuthi bonke labagulako bakhanzakale baphephile ekuguleni kwabo basanakwa kule process yekugula. Ngiko lokusize sakha lolu hlangothi loka customer care, tibhedlela tethu tineligumbi noma li-office la customer care lapho khona sikhuthata khona sive ukuthi nawuva ngathi awukaphatheki kahle awumane uvele kuleli office la customer care ubike ukuthi angaphatheki kahle and loko silitiko sikwende ngoba sifisa ukuthi ngempela labagulako bakhone ukuthola lusito lolufanele. So ngingasho ukuthi kuhle kwenteka etikhathini etehlukehlukene ukuthi kumbe umuntu eve ngazi ukuthi bonesi bami ngathi abakakhoni kungisita ngendlela lefanele.
Siphepho lebesihambisana nesangcotho lesihlasele kuleli ngalesibili entsambama sidlaleke umonakalo noma ke sidale umonakalo lomkhulu esifundzeni sakaManzini elubonjeni kanye nasesifundzeni saseshiselweni. Lomsakato wetitfombe uvakashele endzaweni yasesigombeni ngephansi kwesifundza sakaManzini lapho kube nemonakalo khona kunambili.
Sive sakulendzawo yasesigombeni sithi bekaze kwekucala ngca ukuthi kulendzawo kucube manje langangesibhakela semuntu lomdzala labathinzwe ngilokushaya kwalesangqotsho bathi ngathi besikhathi sithunywe kubo njengaloku sishaya ilibhandi lokwente ukuthi labanye bomakhelwane babo bangathinzeki kusele kulimele amafasitelo etindlini emathayela timotolo umtholampilo kwaphinze kwahohluka netithelo sive lesithinzekile siyitekisa kwenganekweni
ulimale kakhulu nje emaklasi lokumaklasi emaklasi lapho khona abantwana bafundza khona nalapho khona babhala ihlolo lwabo sekubuye futhi kuba sedindu dabothishela cishe nakhona kube umonakalo cishe ngathi kungaba mkhulu kakhulu ikakhulu kule dindlu dabothishela njengoba sathi maswathi ukuthi ngemsombuluko lotako abantwana sebayalicala ihlolo labo lwesikhombisa kubalimele kakhulu ke lelo hola labo noma lelo gumbi labo lababhalela kilo.
Umatime abantu abakethu asilele sihleli ngetibulu. Tonke itindlu etilayo lotibona ukuthi ihofokile. Amafasitelo sivale ngematshalo la ngemuva. Tihlahla kakhulu umvele kusilike konke lokho etihlahleni. Vele nje sikabi le ndlela nibonile lengalapha nayi kanje nayi. Isishaywe ngoko lo ebekalala khona uthuthile ebusuku. Vele nje sinkinga. La ngaphandle nje bekumhlophe kusehu usinyathela wona lamashe mawuphuma sithi siyawuvalela imoto phasi tingana kusanyana lapha tingashaywa ngesangcotho escreen la kuthuli bekashaya hovote le kusanyana angene ngekhathi la ekhathi endlini nje besikorobhe ebusuku
lokugcoba kucale ngabo 6 kuthethe nje isikhathi lesincanyana bo past 6 bese kuthulile. But nje bekusilimete shem asinatindlu timoto sizamile kuvala lapha nalapha bathi nje
lo msakato uthole ukuthi munye umuntu uphuthunyiswe esibhedlela ngemumva kokugcotshwa ngilesangqotho lapho asatfola lusito lwetempilo khona lokusemcondvweni labatsinzekile ukuthi kaze batalitfola yini lisito kulabanika lisito uma kunedehlakalo njengalokubona sebede maboko etindzabeni kubika Fortune Dlangamandla inasikhulile Dlamini sisesigombeni.
Amaphoyisa sekabophe basolwa lababalelwa kulaba 14 labathinzekako ekugebengeni sive imali kusentshentiswa indlela tebuchwephesha azike umphathi wamaphoyisa eveni Manoma Masango uthe amaphoyisa kangeke alale atawube atingenela letigangi letigebenga sive. Masango bekakhuluma emhlanganweni nebetindzaba enhloko ofisi yamaphoyisa eMbabane.
Ngekucala lesibonile kusukela usuka lonyaka kaJanuwari kuze kube unyalo uOctober sibekele sive ukuthi kukhona lebangu 19 lese sibabophela emacala lafaka ekhathi kusebenzisa obomahlale ekhikhini lapho letigilamkhiba tiye titshele khona emaswati ukuthi inombolo yakho seyihackiwe noma i-account yakho seyihackiwe noma kune-virus bese bayakutshela ukuthi nawunamomo facata inombolo letitsite uthi khanze sowutransfera imali letinyenti uthi transfera kuletinye tinombolo taletigilamkhuba bekuneneke emacala lang-191 lalikhulu nemashumi layimfica nalinye apotiwe kulawo macala sesinabo leba 19 lesibabophile kulabo lesibabophile sebayovele bamelelana nawo lawo macala lebawendile bekunene asisho lokho ukuthi singemaphoyisa basekhona labanye lesisabalandzela sicele nalokuthi emaswati siyati ukuthi lamanye ayesaba upota lakwendeka kucala lokunjengalo sithi ke singemaphoyisa akaphumele ebaleni emaswati asho ngoba naba laba nje sesibabophile awu kuyamangalisa ukuthi kubo kunabomawela ababili lese bagijima nato letigilamkhwila nasibabuka ke sikhanza ukuthi basuka cishe lenza uyinye ngoba labanye bakabhudla labanye basethulwane labanye bakhona lapha etimbutini nangabe kushothi uyabuka kushothi leto tigebengu tahlala la behleti khona takhona kuhecha le plan kokuthi nasingahamba sende lokucala lobo singakhona kuthola imali
Indzaba temidlalo likomiti lebalandzeli belicembu lembabane Highlanders lithi kubavisa buhlungu kakhulu indlela ke lelicembu leliphetfwe ngayo lapho khona labadlali bafika esigabeni sekubuta ke noma ke sekubabede kudla labanye balimale bangamikiswa esibhedlela.
But ke all in all akwendeki ukuthi kumbe kusingathi sicosha umphathi angeke simcoshe umphathi singe National Supporters Committee urana i-team but lesifuna kusima supporters nathi kumbe si National Supporters Committee sifuna ukuthi i-team yethu iraneke kahle angeke sikufihle lokho sifuna i-team yethu idlale iraneke kahle iphatha ke kahle ikube kuna i-Highlanders la yadiko naye nakakhuluma kwe athi uyayatha Highlanders wayibona beyiperforma yatu Africa yonke ngiloko lesicela ukuthi nekumbe ku director wethu uyabona lesafeza kukhanza iclub yazembabane Highlanders lele kubheke ukuthi ema supporters angalekeleli kiyo uyabona kwawena umntwana wakho ngeke uthanze abe khona bakethu labantwana laba bantu labantwana laba bomnakethu labantwana laba sanasi siyefika sakhanza abadlali balapha bang8 sakhanza kune kuyi 10 kg yempuphu lento ayisibe kuyi 10 kg but lebe kwasiyana iphekwa ngalala base bapheka ngayo beke wendeka indengane not nelphalish yabo sibuda lesin manje bendawenda njani vele ukuthi sikefike ayikude vele yabo sijike sibuye ema supporters sibe kunene nasingamela ukuthi lana sinike udirector utawubuya kube njani ngeke batawufa labadlali siyabathethisa lekhaze grounding sisabadlali kahle yabo labadlali balambile kude kudla labahlala khona le
Goalkeeper welicembu lembabane Highlanders Qiniso Nyawo sawuvele embi kwenkantolo yamanje imbabane kulandzela ke kusolakala ukuthi weba emakhokho Nyawo bese uhlawuliswa imali lengangemakhulu lasihlanu 500 emalangeni noma ke inyanga letisihlanu abhadla ejele Swati sibuke isimo selitulu sitawubahlola emakethe sibuye masinyane
kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba-researche, bafunze.
Being risky it means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokhu kusendlini.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007*3*7#, or you can use Eswatini Imali. And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any NetBank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
Welcome back. Sivusela lo Sanza kusivulela, as mentioned earlier, ukuthi besitabe sikhulumisana nebaka MTN. MTN Eswatini is breaking communication barriers for everyone, particularly for the deaf society. Lengaphane neke iniketa lusito le WhatsApp kumakhasimende ayo la kubadeke ngekungeva indlebeni ukuthi lawo labafuna lusito balithole ngekushayela inombolo thide nga WhatsApp video call baxoxisane nesebenzisa ka MTN bese bayasitakala. Lena ke indlela yekuvala sikhalo lesibonakele futhi labahlale bakhala ngaso bamvula ngeva ukuthi abakhoni ukuthola lusito etindzaweni letiningi letfaya ekhatsi etibhedlela emaphoyiseni naletinye itindzawo ngokuthi kude bantfu labati lulumi lwetandla. I'm joined by Nomonde Nsibande waka MTN usichazela kabanti ngalo lolu hlelo. Sivusele Nomonde, thank you for joining us on Play Ekseni. You're definitely you're surely breaking barriers as MTN Eswatini. Ingabe nje sitshela kabanti ngalo lolu hlelo usisebenzisa kanjani ngitiphile tikhala lentibonile as a company ukuze ni provide lusito
Thank you, Lulu, and good morning, viewers. Ka MTN, sibone sikhala lesikhulu in our communication with our customers, especially masebatse ngalusito etindzaweni tetfu letifana ne-contact center yetfu nema-service centers. So what we have done, Lulu, to bridge that gap, sibese create a virtual line njengoba somchazela umbukeli kuthi sine line lapho basishayela khona nga WhatsApp. Le line letfu li virtual because bayakhona communicate nge-video. Obviously bantfu labaningi nga yekuphila nesimo sekungakhona ukukhuluma, they use sign language and basebenzisa tandla. So that is why we created le line le video calling lekuthi bato khona kusithinta kulo. Linombolo lebayishayelako ngu-7606-1954. Lapho ke bafike bakhanze khona umuntu lebatawukhulumisana naye waka MTN lebakhona ukukhuluma naye ngalo lwimi lwetandla. Kepha ke Lulu ngihighlight nje ama-customer akusiwo wonke umuntu lotokhona kushaya kule line. Sisebenta closely nenhlangano yabo yakaFotswa lapho khona basiniketa le list yalapha clients ethu laphila nalesimo sekungakhona ukukhuluma. So bese ke sesiyawa whitelistela le dinombolo sithi eda kule line. So it is only lama customers at la whitelisted la khona ngo kushaya kule line. lokunye lesikwendile ke Lulu kulolu hlangothi lethu lekudila nebantfu labaphila netimo letehlukile ukuthi we have created a product sayibita nga MTN sisonke sabakhela ke i-product letawuthengwa ngibo laba lesengichazile ukuthi ba whitelisted sibaniketwe ngifotho ukuthi badzinga lolu sito lolwehlukile sase sibakhela i-product le based kule ndlela lebaphila nesimo sabo ngayo. So for the customers laba blind because sicale ngalama inhlobo letimbili tema customer ethu laphila netimo sicale ngalaba blind sinalaba laba deaf. So kulaba blind ke Lulu siba createle i-product leku voice bundle leba khona ngokuyithenga bashaye ngayo kune validity yenyanga neyelviki kusukela ku15 emalangeni kuya ku25 emalangeni. Laba ke labaphila nesimo sekuthi they are speech and hearing impaired bona ke sibakhele i-social bundle lenema SMS nedata.
Okay.
Bakhona ke nabo ukuthenga kusukela ku10 emalangeni kwaleyo loku valid for liviki and 25 emalangeni loku valid for inyanga. Babese ke labo ke lesibavulele kusibathengele product bayakhona ke kusishayela kuleli line. Ngidamphindela nje umlaleli inombolo 76061954.
Kepha kumele ba register.
Yes, they have to be whitelisted.
So what were the communication difficulties mhlambe labo labangeva indlebeni labe bahlangabetana nato nabafuna ku mhlambe kubuta ka MTN beni ba assista kanjani before this service was introduced?
Besinebulukhuni kakhulu because abakhona sebenzisa line lethu laka 922 because now shayela 922 ufuna ukhona ukukhuluma. So they were having difficulties kuxhumana nathi. Lebe kufuna kuzibaze bakwende uvakashela titolo tethu. Nakhona kufuna afike umuntu lophila nalesimo sekuthi they cannot speak. Afika abhale phasi kuze bo consultant bethu bakhona kumsida. So ke we've bridged that gap ngalokuthi si create le line. Kepha ke sinalo nalelinye line ku omni channel yethu yaka MTN leku SMS ngiyo indlela lesibasita ngayo ikakhulu kati labanye ema customers ethu laphila ngekuthi asete le smartphone ayakhona kusi SMS la kule line la 1010 atfole lisito lumahala ke le line
bona laba deaf.
Oh,
okay.
Yes, because bayakhona kubala.
Yeah. So what is the response or feedback nje lenitfola go from the deaf society bathini njengalo hlelo lolu?
Bajabule kakhulu ema customer ikakhulu kati ngoba saba engage when we were creating this line. Sasebenzisana closely nenhlangano yakaFotswa kwaba ngiyo lesichushisako kona ukuthi uma sakhala ya product lengikhulume ngayo ukuthi is specifically for people who are blind and those who are speech and hearing impaired. Sasebenzisana nabo ngibo nje labasida nekuthi code lesiyakhako kube ngulo star 525 because basadisa ukuthi uma ba navigate lama keypads la licingweni bacala kule nombolo ya 5 then sebatawati ke ukuthi 1 ungakuphi 7 ungakuphi la kulama keypads ngiko ke sasesikhetha lo star 525 si bajabule kakhulu Lulu sizesathi uma senda i-training yethu ngoba sibe sesesitrainer ne-staff sethu etitolo nase-contact center ukuthi bakhone ukukhuluma ngalolu lwimi letandla. When we were doing the training besisebenza nabo very closely safundziswa nabantu labasebenzisa lwimi letandla ukuthi bantu bethu bakwadi communicate nabo. So bajabula ke ukuthi siba included and bajabula nangale product lesiyendako and of course they are expecting us to do more products for them.
Okay, just one or two questions before I let you go. Uthi kumele ba register laba deaf labafuna le service. How do they register? And kuva nje ukuthi le line livuleka 24 hours noma mhlambe kunesikhathi lapho khona ningatholakala khona.
Yes, le line nalolu livulekile 24 hours. Ka MTN sesahlala sikhona 24 hours 7 days a week. Kuze bakhona ema customer ungena kule line kufuneka ukuthi ba register enhlanganweni yabo yakaFotswa. So that it's in a start follow the nombolo start ndale process yethu ye whitelisting shothi kutivula ukuthi dingakhona access le product lengikhulume ngayo nekuthi dingakhona kusebenzisa le line lesikhuluma ngalo kulabo video calling.
Okay. No, ngiyavala. Thank you so much Sibonga kakhulu Nomonde kepha le nombolo ethini laba le WhatsApp.
Inombolo yethu ya WhatsApp Lulu is 76061954 ayakhona ke ma customer ethu kusitfola kuyo kepha ke akasaleli ngaphandle nala solo ede ma smartphones solo ayakhona kusitfola line lethu la 1010 lokubhala ama-SMS bayakhona kusita.
All right, thanks so much Sibonga Mbukeli. That was Nomonde Nsibande waka MTN la bayasitshela ngehlelo lelusha labalu introduceile bang MTN Eswatini kakhulu kati for bamfula bangeva etindlebeni labakhubateke ngekungeva etindlebeni ukuthi nabo sebatawukhona ukuxhumana nedisebenti ka MTN mangabe bafuna lusido ngokuthi nje bashayele nombolo ka WhatsApp video call. Si dasasel khefuna superstar besikhulumisana nemilitiko letempilo.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Hey you! Yes, you. Have you paid your TV license?
Did you know that by paying for your TV license fees, you will be complying with the laws that govern television possession, and particularly the Swaziland Television Authority Act of 1983 and its regulations? It is a legal obligation.
Paying for your TV license can have a positive spin-off, as the money collected from TV license fees goes a long way in assisting Eswatini Television Authority procure appealing and relevant content to broadcast on the channel.
So now, these fees also increase purchasing of local content from independent producers, which helps ensure that the arts and film industry in the country is well supported thus far, ensures the creation of jobs for Emaswati. The payment of TV license fees goes a really long way in such endeavors as well as nation building.
A TV license costs 180 emalangeni per year per device, and for other accessories such as a decoder or njinja, it costs 50 emalangeni per device per year.
By paying for your TV license,
you will be doing the right thing.
As the saying goes, education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. Great news for the learners. Eswatini TV brings back the home learning with a wide range of subjects for the grade 7s, Form 3s and Form 5s from the safety of their home.
Change in speed and there's no change in wavelength, meaning that the wavelength of the incident wavefronts.
Watch home learning every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. only on Eswatini TV. Sibuko seMaswati.
Asiphinde sinimukele sikuvusele nawo losanza kuzivulela sorobukela hlelo Kusile Breakfast Show besivedile ukuthi sitawuphinde sikhulumisane nebelitiko letempilo kulandzeleka ukuthi umhlaba lomhla ukubhala ilanga le-World Polio Day. Sifuna kuveka ukuthi imetamoyini le nto walive ukuncoba ipolio nekuthi kumcwa kanganani kwenta siqiniseko sokuthi bantwana bayasigomela lesifo. We are joined by Xolisiwe welitiko letempilo sichazela kabanti. Inkosi sikuvusele siyabonga sibe nasi lomhla ekseni lilanga lelibalekile leli kini ezibelitiko letempilo engabe kuzividela nje sithombe ukuthi limcwa kanganani lelanga nekuthi sisambe kanganani silive leSwatini kuncoba ipolio. What efforts are being made by the Ministry of Health?
Siyabonga sisihlolo namhla lilanga lekuphakamisa kuthi live nemhlaba wonke usemkhankasweni ukuthi ipolio vendle ukuletinye tifo lekufanele ukuthi live ngabe selitincobile lele ukuthi sesiku esigabeni sokuthi sisi-eradicate kokuthi siphele nya. So umhlaba watincomela ukuthi kule nyanga le mhla ka-24 ngulapho khona sitawuqinisa khona letindzaba tekuvikelisa abantwana kakhulu kumdlavuza, I mean kuvendle. sengithwala lebo HPV sesikhuluma go HPV kakhulu kuvendle. So kuloku kuleli langa leli litiko matiko ngamatiko ngilapho uhulumende khona aveta khona ukuthi yini yena la katayenda lonyaka kucinisa letinhlelo ukuthi silwe navendle semkhiphe event nasemhlabeni bese ngoba sibambisane na Rotary nguyelo wacala lenzaba yokuthi kulwe na polio so na Rotary ke nayo yahlangana ke bazama ukuhlanganisa imali lebese leto imali leto sekinto leti sitawo singemave ukuthi sicinise lapho kungathi kucikacika khona sineke silive la kangwane sinenhlanhla hulumende wethu uyasithengela lama vaccine lemijovo yekuvikela lesifo lesi sisizamile ngoba 2020 nathi sayisithola certificate sokuthi silive la kangwane sesimncobile polio lelesithi wild polio cause ohlukene kabili lo wild polio lokusho ukuthi ngilwela lotholakala nje noma ngikuphi noma sikanjani and then akapheli nyanyanya ngoba as long as kunemavela kasenaye lo polio like lamavela lebo Asia bo Afghanistan abo Pakistan asamveta lo vendle so nangabe nje kusenemphana lo ngaba naye polio lo mnye umphana emhlabeni wonke unaye usolo usenkingeni ukuthi angachubeka alithole leligciwane lelibanga vendle kulamalanga lawa ke siphumile sisigma sikule emimangweni ngasho njalo kopha ngalendlela lebantu kumbe bangayijwayele njengasemhleni la ukuthi sesimemetele khwalihlelo lolutse ukuthi siyajova kuphi nakuphi sibuke indzawo la singafika khona masinyane itolo nje bebasenkalashana nakhona siyokhutsata ukuthi bantwana bajove si prioritize ke to ema regions tifundza tetfu lubombo nashiselweni kutolandzela manzini naho leni letimbili one lubombo lu makhelwane wa Mozambique kani Mozambique usenayo isekethe yakhe lo vendle so ufuna sicinise kuye kakhulu phinze nashiselweni naye unako lokuthi undenga ngoba naku kancanyene nayo uyasonzela kuletindzawo lapho lo vendle ake wabonakala khona so ke asisho ukuthi kuleli indzawo aba relax ngilo ukuthi singeke sibe khona this time go etindzaweni tonke so we are moving ngalama regions so kune team nje lekusikhuluma leseshiselweni sisupportwe bo WHO bo UNICEF bo Georgetown bo EPAF yona ke ayijovis ngilama clinic la sithi bomaka bakhuthatele kuyojova yona iyofuna nyalo ukuthi kulomsebenzi longaka lo wendekile kude nomfana lo sele nesiphosiso wagcina alithola legciwane njengalo ngisho ukuthi as long kunalomnye umfana lo ngakajovi lo ngaba nalo legciwane angamthelela lo mnye umfana wethu lo eliswati lo ngakajovi lo mfana lo ngakajovi angayithola so ke le team ke ile eshiselweni iyakama sithi surveillance shothi iyabuka ukuthi kude nomfana lo ngavela lo sheke ngesiphosiso waveta letimpawu tapholo lesifuna ukuthi simeke sure ukuthi vela akusuye pholo lokusho ukuthi sinalo hlelo lolunye le surveillance ukuthi on top of ukuthi sesijovile lo mfana siphinde siyobuka ukuthi vele lemjovo yethu yasebenza yini so kuyendiwa lokho throughout the year routine umfana nakafika esibhedlela bonesi bambuta asho make ukuthi umfana kunjani so lana sibuka letimpawu ukuthi umfana wakho itolo bekahamba agijima akhona kumunya kahle adlala phambi satandla noma ngabe liswane longakanani but eksena uvukako ukumenza mama na ubathu yamgeza umbana tandla kusaphakami tinyawo atsasukumi nabe bekumfana lo mako so uyachakatela uyavedleka vele so uyachakatela uhlala phansi kanti kuqale kumbe ngokuthi umbone ngathi uba nemkhuhlane usamkhuhlanyana uyashisa ukhala lenhloko nabe so yakhuluma but sombona ukuthi uthi akasakhona kuma kulesinye isikhathi avela kutshela ukuthi lesandla lesinye asisabambi nabo yakhuluma bese noma lenyawo lonyaka khona ukuliphakamisa lo mfana loyo ngiyele simsola ukuthi angahle asisho ukuthi unalo angahle umntali simbhekile ukuthi amthatha ngekusheshsha amyise esibhedlela.
Yeah. Kukuhlaba limi nje inkosi mhlambe sesingena nje vele batalini ngabe kusaceka yini khona ngalapho mhlambe bakhona labanye abatali labanedinkolelo thide ukuthi bamfa baba bafuni bajove ngabe nisesinabo bulukhuni lapho batali labangafuni ijovisa bamfa babo kugomisa igciwane lepolio.
Bakhona sesilulu but esikhatsini esiningi akusi labaningi ukuthi inkolo kungukuthi angithi umfana nakufanele ayovikela akaguli yabo so make uva like ngisasekahle yabo kani lokho ukuthi akavikeleki ubeka lo mfana wakhe kuphi enkingeni ivendle utholakala ngokuthi utholakala emangcolisweni utathi make emangcoliso wathatha phumana bantwana siyathi especially preschool bahlephulelana ikaftin lo wakho ujovile lo wamakajove seka kuwe mthoyi yathi nokusula kwakhona akusiko lokukahle nekugeza tandla kusengagcini kahle nakamhlephulela lo munye indetho ekuhambe ngaloko kudla lokusoyadla lo munye if nangabe bekasakhona lo vendle lo wami umfana lo ngakajove utamthola lo vendle but lo wakho lo bekajovile angeke yena mthola utaske lo muntu ubuyapi lo vendle angithi lo wami wakhala amasotsha nyalo lo wakho wakhala amasotsha ukuthi nasimfaka lo mjovo lo mtimba wakho uyaqala uyakhicita lamasotsha so utawukhanza kusekhiciteni kwakhe kukhona lo umtimba lokushadako lokungaphinze ukuthi nakungafika endalweni gabi kungaphinze kwente nakulolu kushintsho lesithi mutation bese kuveta letinye tinto so kumcoka lokho ukuthi umfana wonke amthole awathole amathonsi avendle siphinze sesinemjovo wavendle ngoba sesigabeni ukuthi sayikhahlela nyalo iPolio even.
So ingabe vele mhlambe sesiye ngasemapheselweni nje inkosi ngimapha ama campaigns lamanyeleni wendako kuzama nje ukucugcutela abatali ukuthi abayele emitholampilo bayojovisa abamfa babo.
Sinawe ama campaign kulamalanga nje lo ngisho ukuthi sena ema child health days laka based kuma facilities nje laka Ketfe ngema regions ngileti funza ngito leti sitshela ukuthi olana kune challenge la kune challenge so we'll be doing that until December la kuvela khona le challenge si double groupana siye khona but lesikuthatako namuhla ukuthi lelanga leli akusilo lodwa lokuthi sibuke vendle sibese sibuka nalele tinye tindzaba tekuvikela kokuthi make nje nakamletha lo mfana esibhedlela neke sifike sibuke iPolio kuphela vendle kuphela sidabe sesiyabuka ukuthi kulele eminye imjovo yakhe uma njani khona uvikelekile yini ngoba kunale tifo lifana boncubulunjwana ningathi nisagathe tona le Polio ibivela kanti tona tibhebheteleka fast so thina silive ngoba sesigabeni se-eradication kuyicetha iPolio umfana munye nje lavela nasingathi nje sendala ucwaningo ngoba lona lovela esibhedlela lona le acute flaccid paralysis kuthi songathi uyachwala sivele simthathe sithatha wona lamathoyi so wahambisa so lokumcoka ukuthi na umbona wena ungumntali ukuthi na umfana amakasakhona kuma ungacabanga kakhulu umkhwebo usiyathi vele singamaswati utabathi umfana bekahamba itolo nakungumfana nje bekayita inkomeni sobe uyakhala because sibuke umfana ona 0 to 15 sobe uyakhala noma uthi ulimele awenicabanga ukuthi ulimele ebholeni kanakala imali sithi amlethe sifuna sithathe lamangcoliso akhe within 14 days kuvele lokuthi ngathi ile milende yakhe noma le letandla takhe atsebeni ngilala livela khona leligciwane emva kwaloko nasesikwendile lokho sesiyachubeka sicwaninge letinye tinvo letingamenda ukuthi abe nalokuba paralyzed lokungasebenzisi malunga emtimba wakhe yes lokumcoka ngilokuthi ede within 14 days naloko silokumcoka kulamalanga siyacela momake angicolise esivene kube khona la khona sibade kahle lo mjovo
30 seconds
yes
30 seconds
sibade kahle lo mjovo siyacela bavele emtholampilo useyikhona imijovo yekuvikelisa abantwana yonkana
Alright. No, ngiyavakala siwakhona Nkosi sithemba ukuthi abadala bayiva ukuthi abavele masinyane emitholampilo bayogomisa abantu ababa njengoba kubalekile njengoba savetile exolisiwe. Saselikhefu ustabene traffic na inspector sehlo.
Kusukela ngeminyaka we-1963, Farm Chemicals solo inkampani lehamba phambili etinvente kulima. Sinabo bomanyolo, kwekulapha imfuyo, inhlanyelo, emathange, kwekunisela kanye nerange Farmers Choice leyiquality. Ihamba range lemelana nalo lonke ihlobo lesilokatana. Itange kwehlukahlukana, kuye ngekuthi tilokatana tini letikuhluphako. Ungawuthola umkhicito wethu kuto tonke titolo letenkulu lapha kaNgwane. Sitolo setfu siseMalkens kanye naseBig Bend. Ungasishayela ucingo ku 7808 1555.
Lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokhu kusembili.
Siphinde silemukele ngo 4 minutes before 7 sitawufuna kuva simo semgwaco ku-inspector Sehlo Dlamini. Nkosi asivusele kuhambeka kanjani emigwacweni elive lomhlekuseni?
Nguvusele emthombeni ngiphinde ngivusele nabo babukeli bayo ikusile breakfast show ekuseni namuhla. Imigwaco elive sesihlolile lesikutholile njeke ukuthi lapha edolobheni la kaManzini tibane talapha eFootliner solo atisebenzi kanti umsebenzi kusukela lapha ku-interchange uyofika lapha e-tire point kubukana nalapha esontweni lelikhulu lakaneshi solo kuyaqhubeka kubekiwe-ke timpawu tekuqaphelisa bona abasebenzisi bemgwaco. Siphinde siye lapha kaShangri-La nawubheka khona kuhelehele nakhona ukhona umsebenzi lo wentiwako lapho lo wekuhambisa ibloho ngetulu kwemgwaco lapha semlwetinyawo batawuhamba khona nalapha na uyawufika khona eMzimpofu etindzaweni-ke letinye ngekwehlukana nalikhuphuka nje la edolobheni laseMbabane la endzaweni lokuthiwa kuseMafini kunayo-ke itruck lesele khona emgwacweni nawukhuphuka nje uthatha lo mzila lobheka khona eMbabane timpawu temgwaco tibekiwe kwentela kwekuthi basebenzisi bemgwaco batawuba nako ukuthi banake ukuthi awu la ngembili kune-truck lesiseyimile lengasizeki lengababangela bona bungozi nabangathamukanga esivinini ngesetulu. Kuletinye tindzawo-ke siyibonile imvula lesibangele ukuthi kuhambe kuhle kuba nematshe la eceleni kwemgwaco lokwenta kwekuthi letikhukhula nangabe utawukhanza ukuthi uyabhilika ikubangele ukuthi imoto yakho ibese iyashelela kanti lapha enhla nahoho nasithathana ngomgwaqo losuka khona emotshane ulibangise khona esipiki mncane ngekwakhiwa kwawo siyanxusa njeke ukuthi bashayele ngalokukhulu ukucophelela bendele ukuthi batawuphepha ikakhulu kuwo phela emakhona ikakhulu nangabe batawuhlangana netimoto letinkulu. Kungaba ngiloko lekubikako elangeni lalamuhla ngethembe kwekuthi eMaswati atawuphepha asayisebenzisa imigwaco yelive. Tibane-ke temgwaco kufaka imbabane Mathapha nenhlangano tiyasebenza kahle kakhulu bese kungiloko nje lokusele elwimini Mthombeni.
Sibakhulu Nkosi kusivetela leyo mbiko lomhla ekseni ngo 1 minute before 7 sitabahlela temakethe masinyane sibuye netindzaba ezingisi.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokhu kusembili.
Ujala masoda mahle kunathi lesa.
sabatandi ukuthi njengalokhu
Sifile sive sithi khulumeni.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is the news at 7. His Majesty King Mswati III has arrived in Samoa, where the king is expected to attend the Commonwealth Heads of States and Governments meeting. His Majesty is accompanied by Lipovela Lazuma.
His Majesty King Mswati III has proceeded to the Republic of Samoa after the Republic of Serbia. His Majesty arrived in this country while accompanied by Lipovela Lazuma. The King is in Samoa for the Heads of States and Government Commonwealth Summit. Upon arrival at the airport, His Majesty was welcomed by the Eswatini High Commissioner in the United Kingdom and in other European countries, Her Excellency Thandazile Mbuyisa, Samoa senior government officials and Commonwealth senior officials. The guard of honor welcomed His Majesty in a ceremonial manner. The meeting, which is held in Apia, the capital city, will bring together member states from different parts of the world who are members of the Commonwealth Organization. His Majesty King Mswati III and other heads of state are expected to discuss issues around supporting and cooperation and development of member states. Also expected to happen in this meeting is the appointment of the new Secretary General, as the term for the current Secretary General, Her Excellency Patricia Scotland, is near the end. On the news, I'm Polio Mazia with Temba Mamba in Samoa.
The Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy has urged stakeholders to collaborate on sustainable practices that prioritize conservation and equitable access to underground water. This has been said by the Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Honorable HRH Prince Lonkokela, when addressing stakeholders during the official opening of the Eswatini National Stakeholder Conference on Groundwater.
The Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy is hosting a two-day workshop with its partners where they are soliciting ways to manage and preserve groundwater. Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Prince Lonkokela, says it is government's desire to ensure that every Liswati has access to potable water by 2030. The minister also says for this to happen, proper management of groundwater is essential.
The ministry is concerned, however, by the laxity in groundwater governance and awareness. Amid positive impact this resource has on the masses of our people, businesses, and the environment. Even though this resource is underground, when it does bubble up or flow into streams. Groundwater helps to replenish and maintain levels of surface water. The bodies of water that we are used to seeing, such as rivers, lakes, streams, etc. Groundwater helps to keep our lives, our rivers flowing through stirring up of transboundary management aspects.
The SADC Groundwater Management Institute says 70% of the region's population relies on groundwater.
We have also learned in our region, most of the water resources, about 83% of our water resources in the country goes to agriculture. And agriculture contributes about 9% of the GDP of our region. And within that 83%, groundwater contributes about 12% of the water resources that go toward the support of agriculture. What does this mean? It means that there is huge potential for us as a region to utilize groundwater to support agriculture.
The conference is expected to come up with policies and legislations around the management of water. It is also expected to come up with proper groundwater conservation plans and find solutions to the impact of climate change on groundwater. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Tabi Somapanga with Smuva Shongo at the Mountain View, Babani.
The RFM Hospital in Manzini has opened an upgraded eye clinic with quality equipment. The eye clinic was opened by the Minister of Health, Honorable Mduduzi Matsebula, on Wednesday.
The eye clinic will assist patients with eye problems. It has quality, improved equipment and quality glasses for different exposure and in the sun. The Minister of Health, Honorable Mduduzi Matsebula, says government is committed in building partnership with partners to provide quality services to patients.
The initiative will increase awareness of refractive error solutions services throughout the region. Increase inflow of patients coming to the eye unit for exams, and for the first time, allow the patients to buy a pair of subsidized glasses for their exact prescription at an affordable price. In this era, the health sector in general and the RFM hospital in particular are also equally challenged to pursue His Majesty's call of the Nkwe mandate and deliver business in the most efficient and effective way. Therefore, ENHI commands respect for its ability to pioneer many new strategic initiatives for national adoption into policy. Amongst these are pioneering the use of Nevera PIN for PMTCT, that is the prevention of mother-to-child transmission, early infant male circumcision, quality management systems, and now the allocate.
RFM Chief Executive Officer Mazwi Mavuso says quality management systems are meant to minimize mistakes in the hospital.
Our care will now move beyond just screening for referral, but also treatment and provision of eyeglasses at a highly subsidized fee by qualified personnel.
Lomes Extend from One Side Eye Clinic says they will work with the Ministry of Health and strengthen the relationship with Eswatini. Such services like an eye clinic will result in good productivity in the workplace and on the roads. Reporting, I am Pendulo Kumbi with Kiani Msibi, Bongani Masugu, Princess Mahlalela and Setabile Mamba, Manzini.
The Minister of Health, Honorable Mduduzi Matsebula, says the ministry is aware that there's only one psychiatrist at the National Psychiatrist Center in Manzini, and the ministry is working towards fixing this issue.
The Minister of Health says they are working towards fixing the issue of having insufficient psychiatrists in the country. Eswatini Autism complained about having one psychiatrist, which makes it difficult for people with autism to get help when needed. Minister of Health Honorable Mduduzi Matebula says they are aware of the shortage of psychiatrists.
Litiko eliningi lelikwendako neku-improve simo semithi ukuthi yonke imithi yase-psych ihlale ikhona. Ngetulu kwaloko kunciphisa emalayini si-decentralize le service to regional hospitals. Lokusho ukuthi le psych lesiyatiyo lela kaManzini kufune ibe yi-national referral hospital urefere letibhedlela letifundzeni. So siyakusebenta ke lokho kokuthi atoncipha lamalayini la ute la ngoba ureferwe esibhedlela mbesakahlazi noma sasesipiki noma sasesiteki. Sitawuhambisa vele lama services siwakhokhe la so that kutokhona ukuthi kusebenteke kangcono.
The minister says in the next coming weeks they will be opening the newly renovated wards and there will be sufficient medication in the hospital. Reporting for Eswatini TV, I am Setable Mamba with Bongani Masugu in Manzini.
The Deputy Director of Health Services, Dr. Bongiwe Malinga, says every patient has a right to raise concerns if they feel unsafe. She was speaking in Manzini during the commemoration of World Patient Safety Day.
And giving a patient the right treatment at the right time means even the health outcomes are going to be good. So that is why we are gathered here. Minister of Health, together with the partners and also the Manzini municipality, to say, let us shout together and send this message out into the public and say, let us make sure that we have the right resources, the right equipment for us to have good diagnosis, which is correct and which is timely. Yes, from time to time we do get complaints from our patients, and in the different hospitals we have established a customer care service. So we want to encourage our patients and all the people that come to our facilities to voice out their grievances. If they feel like they are not being taken care of, we are encouraging them to actually speak out so that we improve on our services. We have also, as a ministry, established the Quality Management Program, which is one of our strong, robust programs in the public health services. And this program is also responsible for teaching the healthcare workers how to improve on patient safety, including diagnostics, including how to actually even counsel our patients and make sure that they are able, or we create an enabling environment for them.
The police have made a major breakthrough on cybercrime. The Police National Commissioner Manoma Masango says they have arrested 19 suspects in connection with fraudulent activities in cybercrime.
From January early this year up until today, October 2024, 191 cases have been recorded by the Royal Eswatini Police Service with an amount of 2,454,000 emalangeni, which has been lost due to these scams. The scam, popularly known as Fakata scams, has seen members of the public lose their monies to scammers who call and tell mobile money users, Momo, or bank account holders to approve transactions unknowingly. The scammers call the unsuspecting person under the pretext that they are either MTN or bank employees or police officers under the cybercrime unit who will assist the victim as their cell phones has been hacked and attacked with a virus. The would-be victim is then requested to transfer any monies in their account through their banking app or Momo into a purported suspense account, which is a string of numbers, yet in actual fact is a disguised cell phone number. The police service once again would like to caution the nation to be alert and not to fall into the trap of these individual criminals who are hell-bent to defraud them of their hard-earned money.
The storm, accompanied by hail that hit the country on Tuesday afternoon, caused damage in the Manzini, Lubombo and Kusile regions. The storm caused damage to schools, homestays, motor vehicles and food crops.
According to Bapala Eswatini Red Cross Society Programs Coordinator Elliot Jele, the recent hailstorm caused significant damage across various regions in the country. In the Mazin region at Sikomben, the Red Cross Clinic, 12 staff houses within the clinic and community, as well as 7 staff vehicles were destroyed. Jele also reported that 1 resident was injured and rushed to RFM hospital. In the Lubombo region, Jele mentions that several areas were affected, including Bolonje and Mapungwane and Ngcina, as well as Njonjane. In the Kusile region in Hlangano, the Mbangweni chiefdom saw 9 properties damaged. Eswatini TV News visited the affected individuals in Sikombeni. Residents in the area shared that this was the first time they experienced hailstones the size of a fist, which shattered windows, damaged cars and destroyed trees in Port Homestead and in Sikombeni Clinic.
Limale kakhulu nje emaklasi lokumaklasi.
Mfundo Simelane teacher at Sikombeni Primary states that classroom windows were damaged and teachers' vehicles were also impacted. Kokokama, a local resident, say they did not sleep that night as they had to clean their flooded homes. Meanwhile, another resident who wished to remain anonymous explains that the storm started at around 6 p.m. and lasted only a short time. The storm has left the community shocked and terrified, wondering if they will receive any assistance as they do not have the resources to recover from the damage. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, which is Kusile Dlamini Skombeni.
Despite an increase in registered feedlots amounting to 599 in September this year, only 273 were operational. This was shared by the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Sydney Simelane, when speaking to the challenges affecting these businesses and how the ministry will assist the businesses.
Some financial institutions have said despite the rise in feedlot businesses, they are noticing that these businesses are struggling. We asked the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Sydney Simelane, on how this sector is performing.
Let us look at our production starting from April 2023 to September 2024. We realized that we had 397 registered feedlots. And out of the 397, 307 of those were fully operational. As we progress towards the end of the year and actually going to September 2024, we have 599 registered feedlots in the country. Of those 599, only 273 are operational. So you can clearly see that there's a decline in the number of feedlots in the country.
He has also highlighted that the challenges range from struggling to get feedstock to high prices of food. He outlines what the ministry will do to help the struggling sector.
Government is planning now as to how the ministry can assist these farmers just to make sure that the farmers have a consistent business. Now, one way of doing that would be to establish the proper value chains for beef supply in the country. There's a big need for beef in the country. These feedlots can still work and help us provide the meat that we need, especially taking advantage of this time where we cannot import meat or cattle from South Africa. So our local farmers this should be an advantage for them, but that is not the case. So we are trying to find out as the ministry as to how we can actually assist these farmers.
The Principal Secretary says they will be working with farmers to ensure that all interventions by the ministry will help in alleviating the challenges. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Mbabane.
There has been low registration for tractor hire this plowing season, and the Ministry of Agriculture is worried about food security. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry, Sydney Simelane, says the Ministry is currently has 300 tractors for rental beans and maize farmers.
We are trying very hard to make sure that food security becomes a reality in the country. So we are encouraging farmers that are going to be growing maize to take advantage of these first rains that have started. Looking at our database and the rate at which farmers are paying for tractor hire, we are realizing that the registration is really low, and we have prepared over 300 tractors for them to use. So if the registration is low, it simply means that they might come to register and pay later when the rains have stopped. There has been an outcry in the past that the moment we focus on planting season for maize, we forget about the horticulture farmers. We've tried to balance that this time, and although we will be prioritizing some areas in terms of maize planting, it does not mean that those who are not in the priority areas will not have the tractors. We are also keen to remind farmers about the charges for the hourly rates on our tractors. The unsubsidized amount is 580 emalangeni, which means that if you come after we've exhausted our subsidy on tractor hire, you will pay 580 to get a tractor per hour. But if you come now, while we still have the resources to subsidize, the farmer will pay 400 emalangeni per hour, and government will pay the additional 180 emalangeni.
Teachers will commemorate the World Teachers' Day this Friday. SNAT President Mbongwa Dlamini says this is a day aimed at celebrating teachers and the role they play in society. He was speaking during a press conference at SNAT offices in Manzini on Wednesday.
Teachers will head to Mavuso Sports Center on Friday to commemorate the World Teachers' Day. This is a day aimed at celebrating the role played by teachers. This is evident in that every profession comes from teachers. SNAT President Mbongwa Dlamini thanked the Minister of Education for giving them the day to celebrate teachers.
Litiko letemfundo lisibambisile labaniketa imvumo bothishela ukuthi bakhululeke etikolweni bete batogupha lisuku lwabo. Lokho ke siyakubonga, sitawucela nje ukubambisana.
He says all teachers are expected to attend, including non-SNAT members. He says schools head teachers are expected to release all teachers. The association had anticipated that the day will start with a march in Manzini all the way to Mavuso, but couldn't reach an agreement with Manzini Town Council and the police on the road to use for the march. SNAT President says they have since filed an urgent application in court on the matter. Reporting, I am Pendulo Kumbi with Gianni Msibi, Setabile Mamba, and the Princess Mahlalela Manzini.
International news. China's Xi Jinping, India's Narendra Modi and other world leaders arrived Tuesday in the Russian city of Kazan for a summit of the BRICS bloc of developing economies that the Kremlin hopes to turn into a rallying point for defying Western influence in global affairs.
Welcoming his professed dear friend Xi Jinping to the 16th annual BRICS summit, Vladimir Putin said Moscow and Beijing would work towards creating global security and a just world order. The Chinese leader hailed their country's ties.
The world is undergoing profound changes unseen in a century, and the international situation is becoming chaotic and intertwined. But I firmly believe that the profound friendship between China and Russia from generation to generation will not change.
As this year's host, the Russian leader is eager to show that he isn't that isolated on the world stage. Heads of state from over 20 countries gathering in the city of Kazan were greeted off the plane with traditional Russian cakes. The BRICS grouping of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa has now expanded. to include Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. Saudi Arabia has also been invited to join the bloc, seen as a counterweight to the West.
Over the past 15 years of its existence, our BRICS association has created a special role for itself, and today many countries want to join.
The summit is the biggest such meeting in Russia since it ordered troops into Ukraine. India has avoided explicit condemnation of Moscow's actions while casting itself as a potential peacemaker. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who has also urged an end to the conflict, praised Moscow as a valued ally and friend in his meeting with Putin. The Russian president was forced to abandon plans to attend last year's summit in South Africa after the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants against him.
Donald Trump's campaign has accused British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour Party of blatant foreign interference in the US presidential election after some volunteers travelled to help campaign for Kamala Harris.
Blatant foreign interference. That's the accusation that Donald Trump's campaign has levied on Britain's Labour Party. In a 6-page complaint to the Federal Election Commission in Washington, Trump's campaign called for an immediate investigation into Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour Party. The Trump team says the proof is in plain sight after Sophia Patel, the head of operations of the Labour Party, wrote on social media that nearly 100 current and former staff would be travelling to the U.S. to help Harris. The post has since been deleted, but Trump's team seized on it, issuing a press release entitled, "The British Are Coming." In response, the Labour Party said that British volunteers have travelled as individual citizens to the U.S. to help campaigns in nearly every U.S. election.
It's up to private citizens how they use their time and their money, and it's not unusual for supporters of a party in one country to go and campaign for a sister party in another. It happens both ways round and across many, many countries. But none of this was organised or funded by the Labour Party itself.
The complaint even created a few laughs in the British Parliament.
Will the Deputy Prime Minister join me in applauding the brave Labour staff members who've travelled across the Atlantic to campaign against Donald Trump?
People in their own time often go and campaign, and that's what we've seen. It happens in all political parties. People go and campaign.
Travelling to Samoa, Prime Minister Keir Starmer said he does not expect the complaint to strain relations between the US and the UK if Donald Trump is elected.
In our sports news, Mbabane Highlanders National Supporters Committee Chairperson Mfanzile Dlamini says all they want as supporters is better treatment of the club.
But all in all, akwendeki ukuthi kumbe kusingathi sicosha umphathi, angeke simcoshe umphathi siyi-National Supporters Committee urana i-team, but lesifunako sima-supporters nathi kumbe siyi-National Supporters Committee sifuna ukuthi i-team yethu iraneke kahle. Angeke sikufihle lokho, sifuna i-team yethu idlale iraneke kahle, iphathake kahle. Kube kuna i-Highlanders la yadiko naye nakakhuluma-ko athi uyayatha i-Highlanders wayibona beyiphoma yatu Africa yonke. Ngiloko lesikucelako thina kumbe ku-director wethu.
Sihlangu Semnikati head coach says discipline in his camp as the national team head coach will remain a priority. He was speaking during the team's training session at Mavuso Sports Center, where he was responding to questions from the media about the whereabouts of Gwake Twala at the national team.
From up there, I worked in Zimbabwe as a national team coach, and I qualified them for African Cup of Nations in Cameroon 2021. That means I was there nearly 2 years, and that's the squad mainly from the place which I worked. Boake is a super player, but Boake is a captain of the champions of Eswatini Premier League last year club, big club, and from the position as a captain and from the position as assistant captain in national team, your behavior and discipline and commitment must be in much bigger level than what he showed. That's the reason I didn't have any chance, any other options, except to take him out of the squad, because he was representing his club. He was representing, what his name, also, he must be role model. That means you are not ordinary player, you are somebody should be role model. The other players should, he should be for them example. But if you not this last camp, he was late day and a half. He didn't inform me. 2 days ago, he was late. He didn't come at the camp at 8 o'clock.
It's 7:30, and that's it for our second bulletin. Thank you for staying with us. Let's go for an ad break. For now, let's leave you with the weather.
kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi
aba-researche bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhicita lokusemndeni.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 76222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#. Or you can use Eswatini Imali. And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any Nedbank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom. I'm a very, 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 very happy customer.
I know.
Imali yebhizinisi ayidliwa wayidla utolala phansi.
Hayi ngimsebenzi yethu lesendako la ekhaya njengoba niyibona lilihle nakangaka.
Ngiyakolosha, which is crocheting.
Ngiyakhicita ke noko kakhulu emsebenzini wethu ikhumba.
Ngenda kwegaba emacici nokwegaba entsangeni.
Ngilungisa emagedlela.
Hello, how are you? We are selling peanuts at 5. Thank you so much. Umdala kubusi. Find the scratch, baby.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokho
sifile sive sikhulume.
As the saying goes, education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. Great news for the learners. Eswatini TV brings back the home learning with a wide range of subjects for the grade 7s, Form 3s and Form 5s from the safety of their home.
Change in speed and there's no change in wavelength, meaning that the wavelength of the incident wavefronts.
Watch home learning every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. only on Eswatini TV. Sibuko Semaswati.
Welcome back to the program. You're still watching Kusile Breakfast Show. This is the Thursday edition, and as we wrap up today's show, we want to focus on Pepile gas, a liquefied petroleum gas product that's been transforming energy in the kingdom of Eswatini. Let's welcome my two guests here who are going to help us walk through what this gas really does for Eswatini, particularly for rural households. It's an innovative solution, part of the Eswatini National Petroleum Company's commitment to driving cleaner, safer and more sustainable energy alternatives. Welcome to the program. Very lovely to have you on the show. Perhaps we can start by looking at the product strategy. I see that it's articulated amongst all headlines that I've seen in the past, and it speaks to safety and, energy efficiency. Walk me through the launch behind this gas.
Okay, so ngivusele babukeli emakhaya, and thank you for having us today. Siyabonga kakhulu nje for this opportunity to be here to speak about, or broadly about, Pepile gas. Yeah. So as we've been marketing since the launch of the product in the beginning, we have been putting the priority aspect of Pepile gas at hindsight to say that we didn't just bring eMaswati another alternative LPG gas solution, but we are bringing it because of the safety aspect of it. I think we are aware that eMaswati ayayisaba vele LPG, particularly the still one, because sibonile what it's done to families, to homes. Vele le stigma sesikhona sesihleli le stigma sekuthi eMaswati ayayisaba LPG. So in hindsight, bringing the product to the market, we were like, okay, how can we be distinct? How can we bring this solution in a way that the Eswatini market is going to consume it in a way that they are proud of it? So we're like, okay, hang on, let's bring in the safety element of the product. As you can see how distinct it is from the one that you're aware of. It's made out of composite material. That is the material that is making it to be non-explosive, lightweight and easy to carry, and it monitors gas usage. So tick the boxes with those three value propositions, and that's how we got to bring Pepile gas.
You speak about safety quite a lot, and I'm just realizing now as I translate Pepile to English. Was that strategic as well to call it Pepile because of its safety?
Definitely it was. So, I mean, when I say Pepile, you don't even have to ask about anything else. It means safe in English, and it is a very safe product with it being non-explosive.
Okay, let's talk about the market reception and its accessibility. I think that becomes very big looking at our population in Eswatini. And, you know, we have seen that since its introduction. How has it been received, really, Sizwe?
Thank you so much, Mnguni. Pepile gas, I would say, has been well received in the market. In fact, Swazi people are very much excited about this product.
Yes, they should.
You remember a long time ago, people have got this stigma of LPG being scared of its explosive nature. But with Pepile, as my sister well said, you can stay free at home, and with that safeguarding safeness that you know what in any given point in time, I'll use the bomb because of the material because the mabhodlela itolo mnguni, you remember ukuthi because of the steel material when exposed to fire, then there will be explosion. But with Pepile, if maybe let's say God forbid when the car will exposed to fire, but this one will not explode. Instead, it nicely pele without any explosion. So vele emaswati, they are very much happy. And naloko ukuthi mnguni, you remember ukuthi itolo when we're cooking with the LPG, in the middle of cooking, you don't say good umlilo. But with Pepile, akusendeki logo because my sister have been saying here, that you can see ukuthi level yakhona ingakanani as you upheka ngalo, so you can check your gas, so you know ukuthi anyalo sekude libhodlela. There's no way ukuthi uqale kupheka kude as uhambe you refill. So emaswati ajabulela kakhulu, and vele nje yasihlupha each and every day imini ebusuku. They are so much excited about this product, and we are very much happy about it.
Yeah, banhlupha vele kufanele banhluphe. I want to, get into its accessibility. Clean such products are quite a challenge to, get like my remote areas. But you have been reaching those remote areas, but I'm sure there are efforts to even reach more wider audiences in the remote areas.
Of course, Mngoni. Leli bhodlela lethu leli selitholakala lonke lelive la kaNgwane. In fact, siqalele emakhaya because we know the challenge lekhona, and live Mngoni libheke ku first world status, and lamanye ma SDGs la kakhuluma ukuthi akube na clean energy. People must have access to clean energy. So LPG is one of those energy la clean. So siqalele emakhaya, and leli bhodlela lethu lena kunaka even the pricing model yethu selishipisile Mnguni. We said let us not focus on profit making kakhulu singe-NPC. Thine kakhulu sithi Maswati akabe ne-access to clean energy. So siqale emakhaya Spofund, and that's where our first project siqale khona emakhaya kha lapho khona sithi lonke Swati alite nelithole Pepile gas loship leli bhodlela leli Mnguni silithenge imali etishisiwe. But we said asithathe leyo mali leyo ke sithathe singe-NPC, but la Maswati athole ship leli bhodlela. Singawatshela nje Maswati lonke lelive ukuthi Pepile gas izotholakala lonke lelive hoho Shiselweni Lubonjeni kanye naManzini. Kunetinzawo nje letibalekile tinyenti lebatasi nabashayeli nombolweni yethu sibatshele ukuthi okay nangabe wena ukaho kushona kunayinzawo letutane nabo.
Yeah, ngiyajabula ukuthi nzaye amagoli amhlaba la khonsako. Ngiyatlo ukuthi nge-SDG goal number 7 lokhuluma nge-affordable and clean energy. Sisangena like affordable. Ngiyabuka lo ukuthi ngiyanaka nje lamabhodlela lambi kwethu ukuthi they are in multiple sizes. It's quite different sizes. Now, how does that speak to lama consumers la khona, the various consumers in terms of these multiple sizes? We see the small ones right here, now right next to you, and we do see the big one. Angakanani vela ama size nokuthi akhuluma njani lama consumers lahlukene?
Okay, so when we were launching the product into the market, we did our due diligence in testing and looking at our target market.
Right.
So yeah, as we were doing that and trying to see how we can position each and every size to the market. So we realized that, you have your households, you have your catering businesses, you have your hospitality industry, your restauranting. So now that market speaks to the 14 kg.
Right.
Yeah, you have your university students that are just living living alone and you have employees actually that have left home to try and rent out just to, to try and be independent. And that target market speaks to the 5 kg. And then you come back to your households and to your small businesses, small eateries, that target market now speaks to your 10 kg. So when we were looking at the demographic in trying to do our targeting audiences properly, we look at all of those insights to say what the 5 kg, who is it going to speak to, the 10 kg, which demographic is it going to talk to, and the 14 kg, which demographic it's going to talk to. But you know what, as we've been doing our marketing intelligence, it's exciting to know that Bobabe are buying more of the gas than Bomage. Bomage pekabona, but Bobabe are at the forefront. Maybe it goes back to them wanting the household to be safe, because I mean, that is a cost, and that is a cost. So that's very been exciting to watch.
Yeah, I want us to speak about the future developments that you probably have in line. What is next for Pepile Gas?
Okay, I just want to go back to what he was saying in terms of the SDGs. Okay. So when we've been doing our marketing out there, we're not only just marketing the fact that this is a best product and you need to have it. We're also talking to the health aspect of things to say that, you know, your charcoal, your firewood, the paraffin, vele kuyalimatana la esfubeni, vele kukoza respiratory issues. Now buget ma statistics jenyalo la bugetebo loku kwabo charcoal nabo coal nabo paraffin loku fakuya nyuka kakhulu. Yeah, it's very, very dangerous. And naleti nkhuni nato nalabo charcoal nawo len futhu uyakubona bese vele banga kukhwehlela lokugcina kwakha lung issues langekhathi. So vele nje the SDGs la khuluma ngawo athi let's move away from lama fossil fuels lawo asibuyele kulo LPG because it's the cleanest and the safest, securest. And you spoke about our future plans. Pepile gas is in demand, especially there's a demand for the 19 kg and there's a demand for the 48 kg. It's just to we are working on that, but currently we have the 5 and the 10 and the 14 kg.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you brought up, you know, some of the negative effects that may come with the other alternatives that aren't as safe, and you want to juxtapose that with our current health crisis in the country. I think this is the smartest decision right now to get yourself Pepile gas. In terms of the consumer education, I see how that becomes even more imperative. Emaswati safety first and foremost. Do we have efforts, you know, to strengthen that part of, you know, our education?
Of course, Mgun. Maybe this coming Saturday, as we will be dancing ENPC, we will be educating them as Bapendula each and every question that they have. We know there is a lot of questions now but currently because this is a new thing and it's beautiful, and some are even surprised why is it cheap.
Yeah, I'm surprised myself.
We'll be there kamanzini siphendula yonke imibuto Mnguni and establish road show the next month kitchen road show the entire country because lonke likhaya Mnguni singe NPC siligatsile silibhekile ukuthi libe naphephile walo because angeke ube indoda responsible if you're going to leave bantu bakho bakudanger ukuthi babe nelibhodlela elingaphume at any time. So does we come phephile so ngiloko nje lengakuveta lapho.
Yes, Thembe Bobabe bayeva emakhaya. Well, thank you so much. Sizwe Themba, Sales and Product Specialist, Una Kokuletu Bennett, who is the Marketing and Communications Manager at the Eswatini National Petroleum Company. Thank you so much for being here on the program and educating Emaswati on this very beautiful and innovative product.
Thank you so much for having us. Nani babukele makhaya.
All right, let's go for a net break. We'll be back shortly.
Sisuka khashane Ngwane, sisatfoda, sibasa phasi, futhi sihlale sifuthumele. Kwase kufika sitofu semalahle. Mayeke phabe sibhunya, sithatha sikhathi. Nyalo, sasinaphephile. Uyaphutfuma, sidla masinyane, futhi wathembekile. It is also affordable and accessible. Pepile is a non-explosive lightweight composite gas, available in 5, 10 and 14 kgs. Emalanga ekuphelelwa igesi ngekhathi ungadi sekaphelile. Phephile has a smart monitoring system lekuxwayisa nasekuphela igesi ngekhathi. And it actually looks good. Phephile Gas, your trusted companion for every season.
We are talking about disease X today and the priority list of pathogens. How does a bacteria or virus get on this list? And what do countries need to do to keep you safe from these pathogens? Here to talk about it is Dr. Ana Maria Henao Restrepo. Welcome, Ana Maria. Let's talk disease X. Is that a real disease that's circulating right now?
Well, I think the first thing I want to clarify today is that there is no a virus or a bacteria circulating right now that is called disease X and is causing disease. We are preparing for the future. So we are talking about an hypothetical disease. To give a name, the scientists call it disease X, to prepare for the hypothetical virus or bacteria that in the future can cause large outbreaks or epidemics or pandemics. There are many viruses and bacteria that can infect animals, including humans. For a few, we already have vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics. We know what are the viruses that we need to be alert to. We know what are the bacteria we need to be alert to, but there are many, thousands of them. So we need to have a simplified way to refer to them without knowing which one will cause the next pandemic, and we call it pathogen X.
So, Ana Maria, talk to us about the WHO priority list for pathogens. Why do we need such a list, and how does a pathogen get on that list?
There are many viruses and bacteria that can infect humans and animals in general. So how do you go about preparing for them? You cannot investigate each of them in clear detail, so you have to have a strategy to deal with it. This is why WHO has invited hundreds of scientists to work with us to try to identify which ones have the pandemic potential, which ones we know now, with the information we have today, can cause severe disease and outbreaks. We also have a list of the ones who are not causing severe disease and outbreaks now, but that may change in the future, so we have to keep an eye on them. So how do we prepare? So we do 4 things. First of all, we keep an eye. It means we have systems to monitor how they circulate among humans and animals, if they change, if they improve their ability to infect us and cause disease. Second, we have to conduct research to understand how they infect us, how our immune system protects when they infect us. That's critical because it leads to the third step, that is developing in advance vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics that can potentially help us reduce the risk of being sick, reduce the risk of having severe disease, and reduce the risk of transmission if they cause an outbreak. Also, we work very much on how to produce these vaccines and these diagnostics and these therapeutics when we develop them, how we ensure that we produce enough of them, use the technology to produce large amounts, how do we evaluate them to ensure they are safe and they are indeed effective against the disease and the severe outcomes that we want to protect people from. And finally, having this list also helps us to focus our collective efforts. You see, we share information, scientists talk to each other, we identify what we know and what is missing, and that way we maximize the capacity we have today to conduct research. In the end, what everybody wants to do and what the scientists wants to do is to help governments to be prepared. So if there is a new pathogen like we have with COVID, emerging, that we are better prepared, that there are less people who get sick, less suffering, less economic damage, less problems for the society.
Ana Maria, talk to us about the research and development that countries need to do now to prepare for a future pandemic caused by an unknown disease X.
There are several things that countries can do. From the research perspective, it's important to keep an eye out, to monitor which viruses and bacteria are circulating in their populations, in their country. That's critical. The second thing is to characterize those viruses and bacteria, how they transmit, how they infect the people, how they cause disease. The third point is contribute to your local, regional, and global efforts to develop vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics. And the last point is work together to ensure the researchers have the tools, the financial resources, the support to evaluate those products so that we ensure they are safe and they have the desirable effect in reducing infection and disease. And finally, collaboration and coordination is important. Collaboration helps us achieve our goal of getting vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics to be prepared for the pathogen X or for the next pandemic, whatever causes it.
Thank you, Anna Maria. That was Science in 5 today. Until next time then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stick with science.
Hi, I'm Golda. I work here at the IMF. Our aim is to provide the best possible advice on economic policy to our member countries, helping them to create conditions so everyone prospers from economic growth. One question our economists are always getting: how can we reduce poverty and foster inclusive growth? There are a few ways to think about it. Some say the government should be heavily involved in the economy, with regulations to keep people safe and high taxes that fund and support a healthy, well-educated and inclusive society, even if it's at the expense of higher growth. Others believe that the government should have little or no part to play in the economy. Lower taxation means more money in everyone's pockets. More individual freedom, they say, means more economic growth overall. But maybe there's a target we all could be shooting for: the best policies on inclusion and growth. Essentially, inclusive growth is about making the economic pie bigger and sharing those slices more widely. So, how do we get there? By aiming for a middle ground. Both sides mostly recognize the need for social safety nets, public pensions, unemployment insurance, food programs. These measures prevent extreme poverty and provide a basic standard of living. At the IMF, inclusive growth is central to our work because reducing poverty is in everyone's interest. Part of having a free and equitable society is ensuring we all benefit from its growth, no matter who we are. And it's not just about creating a fair and equal chance to succeed for individuals, regions, or countries. It's about distributing growth fairly for future generations too. Overall, inclusive growth is based on the idea that wealth creation, economic freedom, and equal opportunity can and should coexist.
Ya, nebengosilenhle sasifika emaphethelweni ehlelo lethu lalo muhla. Kukhumbuta nje ukuthi baka ENPC bebakhona lamhla ehlelweni banenombolo yabo ke leningachumana nabo kuyo bangabe nifuna kuvaka banti ngephephile gas 76024017 76024017 batawuchumana nawe ke bokulethu Bennett na Sizwe Themba bakusite abanti ngephephile gas.
Yeah, ngaloko we've come to the end of our program namhla ekseni simakhonje ukuthi nikhethe kuvuka nathi lomhla ekseni 2 minutes before 8 o'clock. Awusanza kuzivulela ngakhathateki sikhona ka YouTube this episode of Kusile Breakfast Show tayithola ekhasini lethu Eswatini TV. Ngisala kahle, we'll see you tomorrow.
Coming up on TPI.
I started going to other witches, other warlocks, and it was like an everyday thing. I was told by these witches and warlocks that I was supposed to be one, that this is what I was called to do.
Well, hello and welcome to TPI. It's Muyiwa Olariwaju here, and if you're wondering who that is, well, I'm your friend, I'm your brother, I'm your cousin, and I am thrilled you've decided to join me here at TPI. We consider ourselves an oasis in a world dry of hope. Today, we have a show that will nourish and replenish your mind and your soul. So if you're needing refreshing, you've turned to the right place. Now, as Christians, we often refer to the Bible as the living word. However, many of us find it challenging to consistently read the Bible. And even when we do, we often fail to find fulfillment. Tara Lee Cobble encountered similar struggles until she decided to revisit the holy text, and something remarkable happened. CBN's news reporter Charlene Aaron brings us her story.
For years, Tara Lee Cobble felt a shallow faith within and lacked interest in reading the Bible. Then a pastor challenged her to read the Bible through from beginning to end, promising to answer any questions she had along the way. Taking his advice led to a transformation of her understanding of Scripture and a love for God like never before.
I fell in love with God through this conduit of His Word. So something that I always knew and admired and respected and knew was true, I then fell in love with.
Cobble admits that after reading the entire Bible for the first time, she didn't like it. When her pastor encouraged her to give it another try, she came to a startling realization, seeing God for who He is, not for what He could give her.
I was looking for the character and the